Previously, we had seen how we can create menu items in user menu palette that LabVIEW provides. In this video, we will see how we can use a single menu file for creating both the controls palette items and the functions palette item. So let's go and create our VI. But first let's save it. Let's call it functions and controls palettes in a single menu file. The first thing that we need to do is to find where a LabVIEW is installed. For that, we will use property node we need to point it to application and application directory path, which is where the LabVIEW is installed. So let's change the name format to long names so that we can see it clearly. Next, we will build a path to where we want to create our new menu. Let's create a constant. Let's browse for path and let's go to program files, National Instruments, LabVIEW version that we are using, then user.lib, and let's create a new file here. Let's call it sample.mnu. Let's save it. Let's shorten this path, remove the LabVIEW directory since we have already gotten it from the property node. Let's connect the wire. We will be passing this menu to right palette, file. Once create constant for the functions palette, and the second time for the controls palette. Let's pass the error wire. So now we need to create the menus. To create the menu, we need VI library the VI lib, where the VI library is installed. Then we will create a path. Let's copy this and let's point it to browse for path. Let's go to C drive, program files, National Instruments, LabVIEW, VI lib, where the palettes API, that the one which comes with LabVIEW pre-installed, is located, and we will use this read palette VI for inserting into the new palette that we would be creating. So let's remove this path from up to the VI lib, since we are already getting it from the constant. Let's connect it. Next we would need, let's create a constant here. Let's disconnect it. Let's double click its border to shorten it. We will use this. Bundle by name. Let's connect it to this constant, and we will bundle it after we create the display name. Let's create a constant. Let's call it sample functions palette. Let's create an items array. Let's create a constant. Let's disconnect it. Remove the cluster that's inside, the one which we need. Delete this one. Double click it to create, turn it into a smaller size icon. Let's bundle once more. Bundle by name. Let's connect it to this one. And the item that we will be bundling is item path, which we have just created. So we will insert this VI, but since it's an array, we need to build an array. Build array function. Let's convert this item, this cluster, to an array and then pass it a single item. And next we would use the icon for the palette, functions palette. I have already created one. Let's go to the folder where I had created it. This one. And I had shown how this is created in a previous video. So let's connect this one, this icon, to this input, and this input would be going to this right VI. So we will be writing our function palette here. Next we would be, let's just copy all this code. Let's use the same constant. This time we would be using a different icon. Let's go and select it for the controls palette, and I had already created it, and you can watch the previous video where I show how these picture constants are created. Let's connect it, and we would be inserting a control which already exists with LabVIEW. Browse for path. Let's go to C drive, program files, National Instruments, LabVIEW, VI.lib, and let's go to the pictures library. Inside it is a pictures LLB. It launches. Let's select a control from it, and let's say select. Let's remove the path up to VI.lib since we already have it from the VI.lib constant above. This one. Rest of the process is same as previously. So we will create a controls menu item with this icon and this item inside it. Let's connect this to the second right function. After that we would be refreshing the palette. Let's connect the error wires. After that we will be doing a simple error handler. And let's see why our VI is still broken. Oh yes, we have not connected this display name. Let's call it sample controls palette. Now let's clean up the code up. And we are ready for testing. So let's go and test, but before we test, let's inspect how the palette looks before running the VI. Let's go to the user libraries, and here is how the palette looks, and our existing palette is also there. So let's turn on execution highlighting and let's run the VI. So we are creating the paths in the array and filling the bundle, and we are writing the functions palette and controls palette, and then refreshing our palettes as our icon, mouse icon shows. These are being refreshed. And we are done. So let's go and check how the palettes look like. Right click, palettes appear. Let's go expand the palettes. Let's go to the user library, and here is our sample function with the icon that we had selected and the read palette vi that we had placed inside it, which is this part of the code. Let's go to the front panel. Right click, let's expand user control, and here is our sample controls palette with its icon and the picture control that we had placed inside. So in this video we saw how we can create a single palette for both the block diagram functions palette items and for the front panel controls palette item, and inserting items into them. Hope this helped you in your programming. Please keep visiting for more videos, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video, watch more videos, and subscribe and keep coming back. Thanks.